Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a good day today. Today we'll be continue our discussion about chapter 5, which is epidemiology and public health. So medyo taas-taas dyan nino mo itong i-discuss na ko una tong first part sa chapter 5. Okay. Okay, so unsa man din ang epidemiology? So epidemiology, according to our WHO, it is the study of the distribution, frequency, and determinants of health-related cases or events. So epi came from the word among, and demos came from the means people, and logos means doctrine. So meaning it is the study of diseases among people or population. So we have three triad. Actually, it is the triad of our epidemiology. So, makatawag ka nga disease siya or epidemic siya if it contains three categories. Okay, so first, it has our host. Our host is the person or animal that can become infected. So, example of a host is kita. Okay, so example, host is mga tao or animals. Next, we have agent, which is the cause of the disease. Okay, so example, kinsa man ang reason nga nang magka-dengue. So, syempre, ang dengue virus. Kinsa man ang host sa dengue virus, it is your kita. Okay, specifically mga bata. Okay, mao na sila ang common kasi sige man sila dula sa mga sa gawas. Okay, next is the environment. So, it is the physical and social factors that facilitate or hinder the spread of disease. So, example, our host is a 6-year-old child. Okay, he is playing outside in the canal or in the bushes nga daghan kayo og lamok. So the bushes or the canal will be considered the agent, the environment. Okay? The agent will be the dengue virus and the host will be the 6-year-old child. So first, ito yung breakdown. So agent, again, is the causative microbes of the disease. So it can be a parasite, a virus, bacteria. Host naman is an organism that harbors another organism. So again, example is mga human. So, another example, the agent will be a kuto or lice. Kinsa man ang ginakanaan sa kuto, di ba? Kita, which is kita ang considered as host. So, immunocompetency of the host may affect the pathogenicity of the microorganism. So, example, if ako, immunocompetent ko, ang normal, nga pagpaak sa ko sa dengue, ay ang dengue gimamak, sa lamok, akong body, it will try to fight off the dengue virus, okay, which the mosquito is carrying. However, if ako, bata ko, or example, 1-year-old, di ba 1-year-old, immunocompromised na sila, dili pa isog ilahang immune system. That is why, when they are bitten by a mosquito that is carrying a dengue virus, dili ka fight off ang ilang body towards the virus. So that is why mas at risk sila to dengue. Okay? Dengue fever, di ba? Makakause of death including ang dengue. Okay? Another, risk factors that influences a host's immune response to microbes, which includes sexual practices. Okay? So i-compare nimo ang normal individual wherein 1:1 ang iyang sexual partner compared to a polygamous na person, meaning daghan siya og sexual partners. Kinsa man ang mas at risk for AIDS or HIV? Syempre, those who have a lot of sexual partners. Followed by hygiene. Okay, compare nimo sa bata nga sakto og hygiene, naligo, nahugas og kamot, before eating, mahugas og kamot. I-compare sa wala nang hugas og kamot, unya, na-expose siya og Hep B nga blood or Hep B virus, mas at risk ang bata to gain or to acquire the said virus or disease. Another, we have immunization. So, i-compare nimo sa wala nag-anti-influenza vaccine to na ay na nagpa I mean, example ako, napabaksin ko og anti-influenza. I-compare na ko kay sir na wala nagpa-vaccine, kinsa man ang mas at risk for flu. Syempre, katong wala nagpa-vaccine. Another basic example is your COVID-19 immunization. So again, no, although dili na rampant ang number of cases sa COVID-19, it is still existing as in. Okay? However, ning decrease na ang iyang number of cases because nagpa-immunize naman ta or nagpa-bakuna. We also have age. So between 20 years old and 70 years old. Kinsa man ang mas at risk for disease? So, syempre, you're 70 years old because hina na na ilahang resistensya. They can't fight off diseases anymore. Kay, ning decrease na ilahang physiologic function tungod sa ilang edad. Followed by sex. So there are some diseases who attacks female versus male. So example of that is your UTIs. Again, nag-discuss na ko last time. Kasi gani ang mas at risk for UTI, you comment down below and give me the reason why. Okay? Genetic composition, immunologic status, anatomic structure, medication, psychological makeup, nutritional status, and so on and so forth. Okay? All of this can cause immunocompromise. Okay? Kasi compromise meaning compromise iyang immune system. Okay? Environment. Extrinsic factors that exposes a host to a different microbes such as overcrowding, geology, climate, inadequate sanitation, availability of health services, and even education can affect epidemiology. So example of your environment is again katong damp na surrounding, daghan kay bushes nga wherein pwede pamugaran ng lamok, tapos unsa pa may example sa environment? Okay, you're overcrowding. So, i-compare nimo sa private room sa hospital, private hospital, i-compare nimo sa public hospital wherein there are 20 patients in a ward, man ang mas at risk for hospital-acquired diseases, it is the overcrowding. Okay, so muna pasabot sa environment. So, nara ang example. So, first, we have our agent, which is your TB organism. Okay? So, example of its environment that causes or might exacerbate the disease is your crowding, poor ventilation, and bad sanitation. Okay? Host, especially dito sa Philippines, kita tanan exposed na sa TB, guys. That is why kung mag-PPD, dili siya valid. Kay positive ganang result because most of our adults are exposed to TB or have TB. Okay? So, ang host, however, may mo ra siyang, masan ni? Mo increase yung pathogenesis if immunocompromised ang individual. Kay kita mga young adult char. 'Di ba dili kay ta magka-TB kay kusog pa man tag resistensya compared sa mga tigulang or those who have poor nutrition. Okay? Because if poor ang nutrition, ubos pod ang immune system kay they can take the necessary vitamins and minerals nga need to fight off that disease. Another concurrent disease and low immunity. Okay, concurrent disease meaning na siya disease daan. Okay, example, the patient already has a heart disease or diabetes mellitus, so mas at risk sila to acquire TB. Okay, these diseases can again decrease your immune system. Okay, next. So we have different terminologies. Okay, so first we have communicable disease. So these diseases are easily transmitted from one person to another. And again, quote unquote, communicable diseases are all infectious, but not all, however, all infectious diseases may or may not be contagious. So in short, communicable diseases are all infectious, but not all infectious are communicable diseases. So meaning, example, tanan tanan nga na ay TB are infectious, 'di ba? Makatakod sila dayon sa other people. However, we have our tetanus, okay? Although it can be contagious, um although it is makatakod siya but dili sa tanan, okay? The only way nga makatakod siya is through blood and blood contact. Okay? So, man natong pasabot anang akot. Another, we have contagious disease. So, diseases that cannot be transmitted from one person to another. Meaning, kani atong example sa tetanus. So, pwede siya, dili siya actually makatakod sa laing tawo. Okay? So, again, communicable diseases are all infectious, but not all infectious can be contagious. Dili tanan makatakod. Okay? So, next. Zoonotic diseases. So these are infections or diseases from animal sources transmitted to a human host. So an example of that is your most popular sa Western countries, your deer tick or that causes Lyme disease. Okay? So in this, mura siya garapata sa deer. Okay? Kung mapakan ang tao, I mean, kaninga parasite, it does not only attack a deer itself, but rather it can also attach to a human being. Okay? So, iyang possible signs and symptoms include your southern tick-associated rash illness and a bullseye nga rash. So, mo na ang, kung makita nyo dira sa picture, mo na ang bullseye rash, which is the signs and symptoms of your Lyme disease. Okay? Kana including bitaw sa mga iro o class, makakos po na sila kanang garapata sa iro. It can also attach to a human. Okay? Labaw na wala na sila source, dayon source of food. Example, inyong gipabakunahan inyong iro, anti-tick. So, aha man sila mangitag blood. Siyempre sa inyo, wow, nya hilig kay tamag, dapat og iro, no nga, walay bakuna. Okay? Or kanang vitamins or supplements against tick. So, kung wala, pwede na makatakot sa inyo ha. Okay? So as much as possible, if you have a dog, please take care of it and give the necessary medicines para ma-avoid ang mga garapata, which can also attach in your skin. Okay? Next, we have the term morbidity rate. So it is the number of incidents of new cases. So meaning, So example, sa January, pila man ang morbidity rate sa dengue. So example, we have 5. So meaning, 5 kabok ang bag-o na case sa dengue. Okay. Next, we have mortality mortality rate. So mortality meaning death rates. So in short, death rates. So incidence rate, it is a number of disease in a defined population in a specific time period. Meaning specific ang kinsa na population. Example, school age, number of cases of diseases in a school age population during January 2025. So that will be your incidence rate. Okay? Another example, we have prevalence rate. Period prevalence. It is the prevalence of a particular disease and its number of cases of the disease exists in a given population during a specific time period. Okay, so ang difference lang ani is that ang incidence rate is more on the number of new cases. Okay, i-compare sa prevalence wherein sa tibuok siya. Okay, so incidence rate only for January. Example, na ay 5. Ang prevalence rate is tibuok 2025. So, sa January 5, sa Tibok 2025, we have 50. So, yung ana ang difference nila. Okay. Now, we have terms referring to frequency of occurrence of infectious diseases. So, sporadic infection. So, unsa man ang sporadic? Sporadic meaning, it occurs only occasionally. Kadyo tra kaayo. Okay? Kadyo tra kayo siya mupik. So, example of that, we have specific time of the year wherein taas ang number of ay random kay ba? Example, tetanus, pero dili siya ma-predict. Okay? Magka-tetanus ang person because example is kanang mabanggaan, then need nila wala sila napatet anti-tetanus or katunog og lansang. Okay, so muna ang sporadic infections. Dili siya ma-predict. Okay, occasional ra iya random ra inyang pag-occur. Endemic infections naman, diseases that are constantly present within a population of a particular geographic area. So example of our geographic area is the Philippines. So specific NCR. Okay? Your NCR, dito sa Luzon, itong pinaka-crowded na lugar sa Philippines. So dito, unsa man ang disease na makonsider as endemic infection, it is your tuberculosis. Dili na siya mawala, class, forever na siya. That is why ang DOH, in order to control the number of infectious na TB, they will try to give free medicines dito sa health center. So if na may kailangan ITP, you encourage them to go to health center in order to be treated. Okay, so again, example of your endemic is your TB. Okay, so again, it is constantly present within a population. Okay, epidemic naman, often sudden outbreaks in the number of cases of a disease above what is normally expected. Okay, so example of this, na magi cases of dengue, okay, every year, okay? However, if the number of cases increases during a specific month or year bakara na lapas sa normal, example, our normal is 5 cases every month, pero it reaches 10, okay, during summer. So, i-consider siya if, as epidemic if it reaches more than the normal number of cases. Okay? So again, epidemic is more than the number of cases na supposedly 5 ra ang taton himo og 10. Example ra na ha. Okay. Pandemic diseases. So our kuan naman ni siya ng common sense kay siya. Pandemic disease is a disease that affects a large population. So your example of pandemic is your COVID-19. Di ba tibuok kalibutan ning shutdown during that time. Okay? These diseases are occurring in a pandemic proportion in many countries simultaneously, meaning dungan. Okay? So sa minabantay niyo, tanan lugar all throughout the world nag-shutdown during 2020 to 2021. Okay? Walay open, nakalaktanan, lockdown. Okay, that is your pandemic disease. So walay pili no, dato man mapobre, apektado. So now let's talk about examples of pandemic diseases. So first, again, you have your SARS-CoV-2 or severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus. Okay? It is a disease that caused the recent global pandemic, COVID-19, that has increased fatality during its emergence. So daghan kay nangamatay ato class no. Ang luoy kay ato class are our healthcare workers. Kasi sila man ang atiman dito sa hospital, di ba? 1:1 raman naka one patient, one watcher. Okay? That is why ang tanan halos trabaho is responsibility sa nurse. Kay luoy pagid kay naka-hazmat. Hazmat kato bitang mag-astronaut na sinina mo to yung hazmat. Okay? Aha man nag-start ang COVID-19. Again, it started in Wuhan City, China in 2019 wherein the virus caused pneumonia-like symptoms. Sa sugod, ubo pagsipon, hilantan, sumora. Nan wala taga-expect nga, mas mugrabe pa din, mas daghan ang mga matay. Okay? On March 11, 2020, it is depicted as a public health emergency of global concern with the World Health Organization. Coronavirus, again, are a member of the genus Coronaviridae, a group of pleomorphic RNA viruses that contain crown-shaped polymers. Mo ng corona ang tawag siya ha, because ang shape niya has crown-like polymers. Okay? Kanang color red, dira mo na ilahang mga crowns. Okay? SARS-CoV-2 is now considered a rapidly spreading pandemic virus that was initially transmitted from animals to humans. So first, 'di ba, sa kwaknit or bats. Then si bats mamaak sa rodents or mga dogs, cat. Then kana ang mga dogs, cat, ang mga rodents or diretso gikan sa bat mamaak din sa human. Kay mo na ang pasabot sa initially animals to humans. However, later on, ning upgrade ang virus nimong human to human. Okay? According to WHO, in December 2021, the number of confirmed cases were more than 265 million people and a death of over 5 million individuals. So imagine unsa kadaghan class no. In the Philippines, as of November 2022, there have been almost 4 million cases of COVID-19 and 50 of that are dead. Okay? Nangamatay sila because of COVID-19. So, naraanta ang mode of transmission. So, first, we have our putative source, which is animal to animal. Okay? Pasabot gikan sa langgam or sa bats ning transmit siya to dogs, cats, snakes, birds, and then these mga animals nakatakodan siya sa humans. Okay? Ang human moadto sa crowded places. Okay? Dito siya manakod og another host. Ang pinakadelikado is your nosocomial infection. Okay? Meaning, example, ako na ko'y COVID-19 and I have a mother who is hospitalized due to cancer. And then, wa ko kabalo na di ko'y COVID-19 class. Okay, pag ato na ko sa hospital, sikog storya sa mama, nagahaghag pagid ko, nagbeso-beso, causing COVID-19 transmission to my mother. Okay, so again, immunocompromised, anyone who is hospitalized are considered immunocompromised. We also have direct contact with infected individuals. So, direct contact meaning, example, ako na ako'y COVID-19 din. Nanganakot ko sa kong bana or sa kuang anak. Next, we have HIV or AIDS. So, HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus or Acquired Immune Deficiency Syndromes. So, the HIV is an envelope retrovirus that contains two copies of a single-stranded RNA genome, and it causes AIDS. That is considered as the last stage of HIV, meaning siya ang complications or pinakalala na stage for HIV. Okay? Wait lang. Okay, basta sa story wala na record. Naka-record ay. Okay. So, our most common individual who have acquired HIV and later on had AIDS is this person here. It is Freddie Mercury. Okay? The singer of your mama. Ooh. So, nara ang mode of transmission for HIV infection. So, ang pinaka-popular na mode of transmission is your unprotected sexual intercourse with an infected partner. So, kana, again, if ga-engage na mo ana, especially here sa CDO, where in daghan kay number of cases of HIV, you practice safe sex. Okay? You use condoms in order to protect yourself from HIV. Next, we have vertical transmission, meaning from mother to child. Okay, during delivery, magkadugo, dili. Magkadugo, siyempre. Especially if vaginal delivery. Okay? So, during that delivery, there will be an exchange, ang fetus or ang baby ma-expose to the blood of the mother. Okay? Ang mother ang naay HIV. Then, with that, nakatako din siya sa bata. Another we have breast milk. So, it was found out that breast milk, HIV can cross to breast milk, meaning, ang breast milk sa mother na infected sa HIV, makatakod sa baby. Okay? So, with this, again, dili pwede mag-breast milk or breastfeeding si mother sa iyahang anak. Another, we have injection drug use. Nga naman, ako, nako HIV, then nag-drugs ko using a syringe. Akong hatagan ako ang partner. Okay, para kay minduha. Okay? So, since kato na syringe contains my blood already, if I will inject that to my husband para haiming duha, matakdan pod siya. Okay? So, nara ang stages of your HIV. So, first, you have your acute HIV, wherein rapid ang reproduction sa HIV. Okay? Some people in this stage will experience flu-like symptoms, meaning obhon, sipon, hilantanon. Okay? So, muna yung acute HIV or stage 1. Followed by your stage 2, wherein asymptomatic, meaning walay symptoms bation ang patient. So, in this stage, there is a slow reproduction of HIV and gradual reduction of your CD4 cells. Your CD4 cells are your cells that fights off HIV. Okay? So, gradual reduction meaning na gamay na ang CD4 cells ninyo, your immune cells. So, mas dali na ka matakdan. Okay? Again, asymptomatic, walay symptoms. Okay. Symptomatic, stage 3, diri na din ang pinaka-low level of CD4 cells in the body. Okay? Diri na ang appearance of opportunistic infections. Infections that can later on develop into AIDS. Okay? So, mao ni ang inyong stages of HIV. Okay? Again, it will last for years. Okay? Walay maayo sa HIV class, by the way. Okay? However, although it cannot be cured, it can be controlled in if mag-follow lang ka sa regimen or treatment regimen ninyo. Okay? Again, it cannot be cured but it can be controlled into a specific number. Okay? Dili na siya ma-zero ang viral load, meaning ang number sa virus, pero makontrol siya near to zero. Okay? Kasabot ra? Okay, next we have your tuberculosis or your TB. TB is a human disease caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It mainly affects the lungs, but it can affect other parts of the human body. Okay? Since mainly affects the lungs man siya, it makes it into a popular pulmonary disease. Mo ang pinaka-common nga presentation. So other commonly affected organs, again, it affects other parts of the organs na walay pili. Okay, it can be GI system, your lympho-reticular system, skin, your nervous system, MS system, and your reproductive system, including your genitals. So, nara. So, 80 to 85% of TB are pulmonary. Okay, meaning ang lungs are affected. However, the 15 to 20% are other parts of the body, which is considered as extra pulmonary TB. Okay, now let's talk about the pioneers in epidemiology. So first we have John Snow. So John Snow is considered as the father of epidemiology, and because he determined the cause of 1854 cholera epidemic in London. So he also discovered that cholera is transmitted through fecal oral route, meaning ako na ako'y kolera no. Then tigluto ko sa kusina. Wa ko nang hugas. So kato akong giluto, akong gigawit-hawid na food na na siya contain nga cholera nga pathogen. Then kanon dayon sa akong mga estudyante or ako ang mga suki, mga customer, takdag ba sila sa cholera. Okay? In his observations, he found out that unsanitary sewage practices and waste dumping are environmental factors that increases risk of epidemic infection, meaning kahugawan. Okay, inigluto, dili ilabay din ang basura. So, with that, mas exposed na noon sa hugaw or pathogens ang mga host. Next, we have the most popular, our mother of nursing, Florence Nightingale. So again, she is a nurse dispatched for the soldiers in the Crimean War. Her work became the science of epidemiology, or specific is the record keeping. Okay? During her work in the Crimean War, she kept records of the causes of death of the British military during war and their monthly frequency and presented it in a wedge chart histogram. So, sa may gibuhat ni Florence Nightingale dito, iyahang gi-identify unsa day ang main cause. Ngano sige man sila kamatay. So, it was later found out that it was due to unsa decreased hygiene. Okay? Walay panglimpyo, walay kuan, hugaw ang environment sa mga soldiers. Okay? Next we have Joseph Lister. He provided early epidemiological evidence and discovered that carbolic acid, known as phenol, has disinfecting properties. Okay? His discovery led to the use of disinfecting agents and sterilization of surgical and medical equipments to reduce post-surgical infections in the patient. So example of that is, kanabit ang inyong surgical materials or mga um, bandage scissors, mga forceps, ipang-disinfect na in order to prevent transmission to the next patient. So example, yung first patient has Hepatitis B virus which is blood-to-blood transmission. Din yung limpyuhan, din yung sterilize, gamitin yung sa next patient, dili. Okay? So you sterilize it to prevent transmission of Hepatitis B. Okay, so we have this so-called, saan man ipag-hide? Okay, we have the so-called chain of infection. So, daghan siya, no? 2, 4, 6 kabuok pathways. So, it is a cycle. Okay, munang chain siya gitawag. So, first, we have our infectious agents. So, these infectious agents are microorganisms that are capable of causing disease or illness. So, it can be bacteria, fungi, parasites, and prions. Your reservoir. This is a place in which infectious disease agents live, grow, and reproduce. Okay, it can be people, water, or food. Dito sila managhan. So, example of that is your um mosquito. Okay? Ang dengue virus dito sila mamuyo sa tiyan sa mosquito. Okay? Para dito mudaghan, mag-reproduce until ready na sila to go beyond and ma-attach og human person. Dito manakod, dito spread ang dengue virus. Okay? So, we have portals of exit, meaning asa sila magawas. Ways in which infectious agents leaves the reservoir. So it can be blood, secretions, excretions, and skin. So example of your portal of exit. So kita, mga humans, atong portal of exit, asa raman, your ihi and your tae. Whereas, for your mosquito, it can be through feces or through their mouth. Okay, mo na ang ilang portals of exit. Asa mo exit ang kagaw or your pathogen. Okay, modes of transmission. We have a lot actually. It is ways in which the infectious agent is spread from reservoir to the susceptible host. Okay, unsa ang iyang blood-to-blood ba, contact, droplet. So we will discuss that later on. Next, we have portals of entry. Aha mo, enter ang pathogen. So it is ways in which the infectious agent enters the susceptible host. So it can be through the mucous membrane na open. Okay? Naisamad si patient kay diabetic, wala na ayo. Ning tugpa ang langaw or ning gunit si nurse na walay panghugas gikan naghikap og gikan naghikap or nag-ilo og pasyente hikap sa mucous membrane. So muna example of portals of entry. We also have respiratory system. Ning ubo akong kaistorya ko ding gi-inhale. Gikuha na ko ang virus or bacteria. So, mo na example for respiratory system. And then your digestive system. Okay, si kuya nga tigbuhat sa kuan, sa proben, nalibang, wa nang hugas, and then, nagluto siya, irabaw na kawkawan ang proben. Then si Ma'am Ira, tusok din dito, kuha siya isa ka stick, gitusno sa sauce. Kaon. Lamian man si Ma'am Ira sa sauce, iyang gibalik og tusno. So may laway, transferred na siya sa sa sauce. Tapos, si Manong nga namaligya, wala nang hugas, gikan na libang. So, muna ang example sa digestive system. We also have broken skin. Okay, again, muna na same ra na sa mga nasamad. Okay, for mucous membranes, including na ang mouth, anything na moist. Okay. Last, we have your susceptible host. Those who are immunocompromised or maskin dili immunocompromised kita, di ba? Halag dili ta immunocompromised makatakod matakdan magyapon ta og flu or influenza. Okay, however, mas matakdan na gyud mga immunocompromised. So these are individuals that have traits that affect their susceptibility and severity of disease. So, example of that are your, again, immunocompromised, such as your cancer patient, your children, your older adults, mga tigulang, sa pa, mga pregnant women, okay? Or anything na patient ninyo. Especially those who came from surgery, di ba? Those who came from surgery has samad or wound, okay? Di man mo next. So, let's talk about living reservoir. So, it can be human carriers or animal carriers. So human carriers are considered the most important reservoir of infectious diseases. Some human reservoir may not produce signs and symptoms when they are infected, and they are referred to as carrier. Okay? We have six types of carrier. We have casual or acute or transient carrier. So these carriers harbors the microorganism temporarily for a few days or weeks. So example of that is your common colds. Okay? Ang sip-on, usually, kano sa naman ang mag-last class? 3 to 7 days. So, muna ang tawag sa casual or acute transient carriers. Inigumani mo og carrier sa bacteria or pathogen, imuhang i-exit. Obo-obo, sip-on. Dayon, takda na din ang classmate. Na immunocompromised po kay gahago og study sa exam, walay tulog, walay kaon-kaon. Okay? Chronic carriers. Carriers that remains infected for a relatively long time, sometimes throughout life. Okay, chronic meaning more than 6 months. So we have Hep B. And again, example is your HIV. Di ba? Years pa ang duration. Okay? Dugay kayo mahuman ang HIV. Actually, di siya mahuman lagi. Makontrol lang siya. Imo na example sa chronic carrier. So we have the term convalescent carriers. This carrier who has recovered from the infection but continues to harbor large numbers of pathogens. So we have this example. Si Typhoid Mary. Okay. Isa si Typhoid Mary. So Mary is actually a cook in a hospital. Tigluto siya og hospital. Nagka-typhoid fever siya for a few days. Dayon, nawala ang symptoms, meaning wala na siya nagkalibanga, wala na nag-fever, wala na tanan. Okay? However, tingala siya, tingalang hospital, nga nun, sige daghan man ang number of typhoid cases sulod sa hospital. Di ay to, although asymptomatic na si Mary, she is still carrying typhoid bacteria or pathogens. Okay? So, she was considered as typhoid Mary, the most harmless and yet the most dangerous woman in America. Why? Because she infected at least more or less 100 patients or individuals during siyang pag-work sa hospital. Okay? Kaya gitigluto siya. So, pila man kabuok yung gidhatagan sa food, daghan kaayo. Okay? And then, actually, more or less 3 kabuok daw ang namatay. So, imagine, no? Ikaw ang tigluto, wa ka kabalo, infected na ika. Okay? Ang binin mo na ayon na ka, di ay ito, wala pa. Mo to, nakatakod ka sa other individuals. Okay? Again, although Mary is asymptomatic, she is still carrying numbers of pathogen that caused a lot of new cases sa typhoid disorder or disease. Okay, next we have incubatory carriers. Carriers who can transmit the infection at the incubation period of the disease. So we have the term incubation period wherein ang pathogen sulod sa body is on the process, okay, of becoming contagious. So example, egg pa siya, nahimo na din siyang worm. Okay, so muna ang incubatory carrier. Okay, a carrier who can transmit the infection at the incubation stage, meaning itlog pa makatransfer na ka sa lain tao. Although dili pa siya worm, bahalag itlog pa siya, pwede na na nimo i-transfer sa lain tao. Labaw na if tigluto ka daw kay hugas-hugas ug kamo. Okay. Next, we have active carrier. So carriers who has an overt clinical case of the disease, meaning currently experiencing the disease. So example of that is your COVID-19. Dagan na kay symptoms, naka-hospital mo na ang active carrier. Passive carrier. Carrier has the pathogen without ever having the disease. So example is your tuberculosis. So although I have the pathogen, pero dili ko, wala ko nagka-TB. Okay? Nipilit lang sila sa akong lawas pero wala ko TB because I am immune to that TB. So, muna ang passive carrier. Wala ko sakit pero naa sila sa akong lawas. Okay. Next, we have animal reservoir. Okay? Animals who harbor and spread infection but does not experience the disease. So example is your rabies. So it is an infection from dogs and cats transmitted through injection of the infected animal saliva to the human. So, diba kasagara, most of it, kung dili pa grabe ang rabies sa isa ka dog, dili pa nimo maklaro nga na siya rabies. Kaya di ka kabalo kung rabies siya or dili. Muna, napatila-tila ka, nga imong samad, ay na imong kamot, na imong gipatila na ay samad. So, you are exposing yourself to rabies. Okay? Next, we have toxoplasmosis. It is the disease that can cause severe brain damage, especially in newborn babies, that can be transmitted by ingestion of infected cat feces. So, kung kinsa tong na mga iring, kung buros ang isa ka person, or kamo, or yung mother pa ka, dili dapat silang magunit sa tai sa miming. Okay? Because, if ever magunit, dapat mahugas og kamot. Because, pwede nila na ingest, causing toxoplasmosis to the newborn or the fetus. Okay? Environment. So, it can be plants, your soil. Your soil are rich in fungal agents such as histoplasmosis. Sumunang every time you touch yuta, dapat manghugas gyud ta. Okay, kay daghan kay og bacteria dira, including mga itlog sa bitok. Okay? Food or those bacteria who are foodborne, dito sila mamuyo sa food. So example, yung bread. Limtan ninyo ang bread no na naa sa sulod sa cabinet after 1 month. Usa na color green na because daghan na og molds. Okay? Another, we have waterborne. So, example of that is your Legionella pneumophila or Legionaris that causes Legionaris disease. Okay? There are also, kabantay mo, if kanabitan yung water, nga 1 week na nga naara dira open sa space din yung ibnon magkalibanga mo because there are bacteria who loves water. Iba akto na na-discuss last time anak ko, you read ninyo. Okay, self-explanatory na siya. Okay, we have fomites. So, inanimate objects capable of transmitting pathogens, meaning inanimate, dili living. Okay? So, example of that is your contaminated vehicles. Mga hilig og jeep. Okay, ako mapahilig mo kong jeep. Okay, pero kakabulokin sana mga tao ngayong katapad. Okay? Nagkatoy mong katapad, kakabalo usap ang bacteria, ngayang gina-carry. Okay? Kitchen utensils. So, example, my father has Hepa B. Nagkaon siya og nakoy ice cream gigunitan, no? Dahil iyahan, kuha siya kutsara iyahang gi tusno sa ice cream yung gikaon. Tusno na pod siya. Okay? So, pwede. Okay? Another, sa paman. Ay, dili pwede dahil kay Hepa B is blood to blood transfusion or transmission rather. Some example sa kitchen utensils. Your knife. Naghiwa ko, na ako HIV or um sani or nakuhepabi naghiwa ko no nasamad dayon ato din akong bana naisamad ang kamot pod nag-share mi og blood so naay exchange ang blood to blood namo okay pwede ko makatakot sa akong husband okay mo na ang pasabot sa kitchen utensils another clothing hospital equipments and etc. So mo ni ang reason nga no during your funda and HA as RLE basta man ang buhaton. Before and after you use your paraphernalia, you wipe it with alcohol because it can be a fomite. So, example here. So, ang number one fomite is your CR, your bowl, your lingkuranan, di ba? Muna, dagan o ugaw. Another, we have your towels, your toothbrushes, okay? And your tiles. Okay? There are contamination spread by walking. So, mo na reason nga na itong mga shoes ibilin sa gawas. Okay? Kaya dili siya limpyo. Okay. So, during sa COVID-19, di ba, before we touch an object, before and after we touch an object, we always wash our hands. Because, pwede siya makatakod sa lain. Okay? Nakakabulo aha to gikan example, your money. Okay? Waka kabalo ato gikan naman ni what if na ato COVID-19 ang last handle ato naman ni. So that is why we wash our hands or use alcohol, rubbing alcohol. Okay, nanagid ta sa mode of transmission. Describes how microorganisms are transmitted from one person or place to another. So we have direct and indirect. So direct includes direct contact, droplet spread, and vector borne. Indirect are airborne and vehicle borne. Okay. So direct transmission is transferred from a reservoir to a susceptible host by direct contact or droplet spread. So droplet meaning transmission involves this transfer pathogens via droplet. Okay? Kano man na ma-happen ang droplet if sneeze or cough ang patient or infected person. It can also be when they are talking. Pwede kayo kay magbula-bula ang ba, di ba? Mapisik-pisik ang laway. Okay? So example of these diseases are Mycobacterium tuberculosis, SARS-CoV-2 and pertussis, and meningococcal infection. Okay, so anything that that can be transmitted through laway. So that is your droplet. Next, we have contact. So it can be either skin-to-skin contact or direct mucous membrane to mucous membrane contact. Okay, example is your kissing and sexual intercourse. So direct contact to soil or vegetation that harbors an infectious microbe. So example is your infectious mononucleus. Man namin yung makuha through kissing. Okay? Infectious mononucleus. Kung na may mga boyfriend may kiss mo din. Tingnan mo pagka after 3 days, yung ubo mo na ang reason. Okay? Possible na ay infectious mononucleus inyong boyfriend or girlfriend. Next, we have HIV. Okay, it is considered contact because there is mucous membrane to mucous membrane, your genitalias. Okay? Gonorrhea and syphilis. So, mga STDs, contact precaution. Okay? Contact na sila ilahang transmission. Next, we have vertical direct contact. It is the transmission from mother to child during pregnancy or birth and during breastfeeding. So, we have this example, your torch, including Toxoplasma gondii, other agents such as syphilis, parvovirus, varicella zoster, and listeria. R stands for rubella, C for cytomegalovirus, and H for herpes simplex virus. Vertically transmitted, again, meaning it can be transferred via placenta or blood to blood sa mother and child, including the breast milk. Okay, and sa pa may other example of vertically transmission, your HIV. Okay? Next, we have indirect transmission. Transfer of infectious agent from a reservoir to a host by suspended air particles, inanimate objects or vehicles or animate intermediaries. So, for airborne, infectious agents are carried by dust or droplet nuclei suspended in air. So, droplet, ganihan, droplet transmission. Droplet lang yun siya laway. However, sa airborne, apil na ang dust. So, anything, kung expose ka, the same hangin nagiginhawa sa patient nga infected og airborne disorder can also have it. Okay? So, secretions are aerosolized by coughing, sneezing, and talking. Same sila but different. Again, airborne, air. Droplet, mga pisik-pisik sa laway. Okay? Or mga sputum or mga plema. Okay, so examples of this is sore throat caused by Streptococcus. And another, we have sinusitis and otitis media, acute epiglottitis, and diphtheria. Okay? So vehicle-borne. The transmission of pathogens through vehicles such as water, food, and air. Okay? So, ang contaminated na water mo, so example, kanang nainalibang dito sa taas, dito sa sapa, then ikaw nag-inom kag tubig diri sa ubos. So that is a basic example of water contamination. Another, food contamination through poor handling or storage. Kay ang pansit gikamot. So syempre, Pwede nga imong kamot nagkiri og bacteria and dito managhan dito sa pagkaon. Munang uban pansit dali ra mabaho. Okay? Because it is considered as foodborne or food contaminated na vehicle borne. Okay? Okay, another. We have vector-borne. Infectious agents multiply inside the mosquitoes, fleas, and ticks. So, mga insekto, vector, borne. Okay? Blood-borne, indirect contact with blood or blood products. So example are your hepatitis, malaria, and AIDS. So anything that has blood in it. Okay? Ang mga mosquito, di ba, na ay blood because ilang pagkaon is blood man. Okay? So mag-exchange mo ang laway sa mosquito and ang blood nimo. Another, during blood transfusion, especially if wala gipa adto sa laboratory ang blood transfusion. So, waka kabalo ang nag-donate gikan na ay hepa B or HIV. Okay, so noon na dapat you recheck your blood if magkuha mo blood dito sa Red Cross. Okay? So we have the term quarantining. Sa unsa man ni oy kung ano magani kana basic, 'di ba? Quarantining meaning ang individuals who are suspected or known to have been exposed, ipalayo sila, i-isolate sa isa ka lugar to prevent transmission of the disease to others. So, sa may happens during COVID-19. So, natay quarantine sa ato ang mga healthcare worker for 2 weeks. Diba? I-lockdown sila. Dito sila sa isa ka room after nila ma-expose sa mga COVID patient. Ikulong sa sila 2 weeks, ay makauli silang balay. To check if na ba sila symptoms sa COVID-19. Okay, if wala, pwede na silang uli. This is a long-established public health strategy that may be applied to both individuals and groups. So it was popular in special wards, especially for TB, Ebola, and COVID-19. Okay, so we have the term again, nosocomial infection. Okay? Healthcare-associated infection, specifically your nosocomial infection. It is also called hospital-acquired infection. An infection acquired in the hospital by a patient who was admitted for a reason other than that infection. So ako, kung mama, example lang ha, napa-admit siya due to cancer. Pero, natakdan siya og pneumonia. Kay si nurse, wala nagmask, wala hand hygiene before touching my mother. So, mo na itawag na nosocomial infection. Okay? Infection was not present or incubating at the time of admission, meaning wala pa siya ana ang sakit, wala siya pneumonia, wala siya TB. Okay, wala siya Hep B, wala HIV. This includes infections acquired in the hospital but appearing after discharge. So, although discharge na akong mother, if nagka-pneumonia siya, mga 3 days or 2 days after the hospitalization, it is still considered as nosocomial infection. So, occupational infections among staff of the facility. Okay, pwede po. Okay? Ako, nag-ubo ko, nagsipon, ay nanakod ko, og another nurse, ubo og sipon. Muna occupational infection. Okay, what is the reason man? Nga naman, nga popular ang nosocomial infection. So first reason for higher incidence of transmission, the characteristic of the environment. So syempre, if nako sa public hospital, naka-ward, unsa may ma-happen? Overcrowded kaayo. Okay? Especially bitaw sa OB ward. Um, there are at least 2 to 3 patients per bed. So imagine na, sa kadaghan. So ang mga mother, ang mahitabo, naglingkod na lang sa bangko. Ang nasakit, katray are their babies. Okay? Characteristics of the population. So depende. Okay? So unsa man siya, naaba siya samad, naaba siya comorbidity daan like diabetes or cancer or unsa pa. Okay? Individuals who are more susceptible to nosocomial infections are those again who are immunocompromised. So nadira nakalis. Okay? Causative organisms. So pathogens responsible for nosocomial infections include bacteria, viruses, and fungi. For bacteria, they are the most common pathogen, followed by fungi and viruses. And it may originate from an exogenous or endogenous source as part of the natural flora. So common gram-positive organisms include coagulase negative Staphylococci, Staphylococcus aureus, Staphylococcus species, and Enterococcus species. Okay, mga common sila sa tai. Okay, makita niyo sila sa tai. Okay, fungi. Fungal pathogens are opportunistic infections. So immunocompromised patients and those with indwelling devices such as your Foley bag catheter. Okay, pwede dito. So, nasa man ang most common type of fungi? We have Candida species such as Candida albicans, Candida parapsilosis, and Candida glabrata. So, kani sila kalas common kay ni sila if ang patient bitaw like dugay na kay long term na siya na patient like 1 month, 2 months na dito pwede kaayo magka fungi infection. Okay? Next, we have viruses. So infections due to viral pathogens are the least reported, making 1 to 5% of all HAIs pathogens. So ang pinaka-common is your Hepatitis B and C and HIV due to unsafe needle practices. If you will remove the needle of your syringes, you need to put it in a needle container. Pero unsa may ma-happen dito ilabay sa basurahan. So wala ka kabalo na dito basura naglimpyo ka. Ay, basura na ay needle sa basurahan. Pag gunit nimo natusok ka. Wa ka kabalo ahato gikan na needle. What if gikan to CEPA-B or HIV patient? Natusok ka and that is why you need to report to the ICN. Okay? Infection control nurse. Okay, pa-check, palab ka kung natakdan ba ka or wala. Okay, so again, your needle should be in a needle container. So globally, 5.4% of all HIV infections are healthcare associated and frequently occurring in developing countries. So example of your developing countries is kita. Okay, mga Filipinos. Okay. Reservoir and transmission. The permanent or transient flora of the patient, which is considered as endogenous infections, transmission to sites outside the natural habitat, such as urinary tract, and damage to tissue in the wounds, inoperate antibiotic therapy that allows overgrowth, such as C. difficile, yeast, staphylococcus. Okay? So example, gram-negative bacteria in the digestive tract frequently cause surgical site infection after abdominal surgery or urinary tract infection in catheterized patients. So, if nag-opera sa tiyan, nga tiyan na si sulod, di ba, apilang intestine. Your intestine are rich in bacteria. So what will happen? They can go out towards the wound and infect the incision or surgical site. Okay, so muna itong pasabot sa the permanent or transient flora of the patient. Okay, or endogenous infection. So, flora from another patient or member of staff. Muna ang term as exogenous cross-infection. So, bacteria are transmitted between patients through direct contact between patients. Meaning, example sa ward, tapad mo og bed. Sige magchika-sika, niya ang isa na TB. Okay? So, katong na TB, makatakod sa walay TB. Okay? Patient to patient. Another in the air. Droplets or dust contaminated by patient's bacteria. Okay? Airborne ang TB. Ang direct contact between patient is kanang mag-shake hands sila or mga so may example sa contact prep or mga body fluids nakaihi ang patient wala sa kabalo dayon gitabangan siya limpyo sa tapad na patient. Okay, so mga example sa direct contact. Staff contaminated through patient care. Okay? Including the hands, clothes, nose, and throat, who became transient or permanent carriers, subsequently transmitting bacteria to other patients by direct contact during care. Okay? So, ang staff ang nakatakod sa patient. Okay? Wait lang, class ha. Sabak yung goes. Okay, another. We have via objects contaminated by the patient. Okay, including equipment. Okay, so ang patient na siya'y bacteria daan, na siya mga pathogen. Si nurse, naara siya isa ka stethoscope. Nagkuha siya BP ato na patient. Dayon, wa siya ng limpyo sa iyang stethoscope after usage. So, say ma-happen, the stethoscope acts as a fulminate and if gamiton to sa nurse, sa next patient, pwede matakdan ang next patient. Okay, so mo na ang pasabot sa baya, objects contaminated by the patient. Okay, flora from the healthcare environment. Endemic or epidemic exogenous environmental infection. So several types of microorganisms survive well the hospital environment, including the water, the damp area, occasionally in sterile products or disinfectants. Okay, common na yung mga bacteria are Pseudomonas, Acinetobacter, and Mycobacterium. The linens, equipments, and supplies used in cared food and fine dust. So, tanan. So, pero more on the environment in the hospital. Okay, so how do we prevent nosocomial infection? So we have the role of the physician. So the physician or the doctor must provide direct patient care using practices which minimizes infection. So how do we minimize infection? Through proper hand hygiene, through proper disposal of mga gamit. Another, protecting patients from other infected patients. So, kung ang patient nga na TB, dapat dili siya itapad sa na-eye surgery na patient. Okay? Kung TB, dapat TB rapat yan tapad. Okay? Complying with the practice for infection control, obtaining appropriate microbial specimens when an infection is present or suspected. So, if si Doc makita siya, hala, basin ano siya, kuan, si difficile. So, magpadala siya og stool sample or tae nga sample sa pasyente. Pa-check niya if naabay si diff. Okay? Okay. So, what is the role of a microbiologist? So, they are responsible for handling the specimen. Okay? To maximize the likelihood of microbial diagnosis, developing guidelines for appropriate collection. So, supposedly sila ang mag-collect, mag-transport, and mag-handle. Okay? Ensuring laboratory practices met appropriate standards, okay, during pag-check or pag-culture and sensitivity. Okay? Ensuring safe laboratory practice to prevent infection in staff. Kung ang patient suspected nga na ay um, Hep B, dapat i-make sure na kuan i-make sure na dili siya makatakod sa lain niya kauban, especially siyang kaugalingon. Okay? Timely communication of results to other healthcare workers. So, if positive na ani nga result, dapat immediate ang pag-report ni microbiologist. Kaya para ang mga nurse sa taas or doctor sa taas who are handling direct patient care, ma-inform sila. Okay? Dayon, if ma-inform, mag-practice din sila sa appropriate ways to prevent the spread of the infection. Okay? So what is the role of hospital pharmacists? So they are responsible for obtaining, storing, and distributing pharmaceutical preparations using practices which limit potential transmission of infectious agents to patient. They dispense anti-infectious drug and maintain relevant records. So sila ang responsible kung unsa na mga antibiotic ang ipag-give, kung unsa ba ang katason or kaisog sa antibiotic, kailangan nang i-monitor. So example, first line pa lang ang antibiotic ang give, so okay pa. Pero they later found out nga hala nagkataas ang dosage sa patient. So ilahan nang i-time record. There are antibiotics nga dangerous. Okay? Like your vancomycin. So, if ka na magpag-give sig doc, kasagara, mag-release si pharmacist na siya ipaperma kay doktora. Okay? Na pasabot si doc, culture and sensitivity. That is why, yan yung order na medicine. Okay? So, Nara, what are our role as nurses? Okay? So, we need to identify what type of nosocomial infection. Okay? So, kita ang makasuspect. Kaya kita man ang gahandle sa patient. So, example, yung nosocomial infection is pneumonia. So, kita ang first line, naladok, si patient blank na ba kasi ubo-ubo, dayan. Dili ta magpa-x-ray doc to check if na ba siya pneumonia or magpa-culture and sensitivity siyang plema. So, yung ana. Okay? We also lead the investigation of the type of infection and infecting organism, participated in training of personnel. Okay, developmental of infection control policy and review. So, mo ni ang mga roles sa infection control nurse. Okay? Provide ensuring compliance with local national regulations, liaison with public health. So, especially for HIV patient, no? Or, sa may mga kuan na need i-report sa mga dengue. Okay, i-report na nila especially sa DOH. Okay? Kaya para ma-check kung daghan ba ang cases or dili. Okay? So, providing expert consultative advice to staff health and other appropriate hospital programs matters relating to transmission of infection. So, sila ang magtudlo, kita ang magtudlo. Unsaon man para dili ma-prevent, para ma-prevent ang spread sa bacteria or viruses. Okay, so here is our most popular hand washing. So mag-assume ko kabalo na mo ani. Kaya mo na yung pinaka-first na part sa inyong RLE sa 101 and 103. Okay? So your hand hygiene. Okay, kabalo na mo ani tanan guys. Hopefully kabalo na tanan, ha? Okay, so who should perform hand hygiene? So anyone who is involved directly or indirectly with patient care. So, number one na ang mga nurses. Okay? So, what are our 5 moments of hygiene? So, nara diri, when to perform hand hygiene. So, also known as the 5 moments of hand hygiene. So, you always remember this. Kay permi mo pangutano na ni sing CI during RLE. So, when man daw mag-hand hygiene? So, before touching a patient, before clean or aseptic procedure, syempre, if maglimpyo ka sa wounds ng pasyente, mahugas ka kamot ha. Laban kung gikan ka og kaon or gikan ka og libang. Okay? After body fluid exposure risk, so example of body fluid is your ihi. Okay? Kung nagkuha ka, nag-catch ka og urine specimens yung patient, again, magwash og kamot. Lain ka ay sugawan kayo. Bago ra nag-catch og kuan. Og ihi. Mingon din, gloves bitaw ko ma'am. Hoy, dili. Ha? Mag-hand washing per me. And then, followed by after touching a patient. And after touching the patient's surrounding, especially the doorknob and the bedside table of your patient. Okay? So, Nara, when do we use sterile gloves, examination gloves, or clean gloves? And when do we not use gloves? Okay? So, you can screenshot this and read. Okay? So, we have precautions. So, CDC recommended 2 tiers of precautions to prevent the spread of infection in healthcare settings. So, first, we have standard precaution and followed by transmission-based precaution. So, number one, we have hand hygiene, vaccination, and usage of PPE. So, it's man ang standard precaution. So, in standard precaution, number one, ang hand washing. Okay? Use no-touch technique wherever possible. If dili necessary na mo touch ka sa patient, you do not touch them. Okay? Wear gloves when in contact with blood, body fluid secretions and accretions, mucous membranes, and contaminated items. So, mo na yung reason nga no, during your pagkuha og temperature sa patient, unsa man yung gigamit, nag-wear mo og gloves. Okay? Wash hands immediately after removing gloves. Immediately, ha? Dili tagdo na 1 hour. Okay? Dapat mag-wash every after. Immediately, ha? Ensure contaminated supplies either discarded or disinfected or sterilized. So, example, nakalibang ang patient. Gamay. Dili ilisan. Siyempre, ilisan na kay. Although gamay ra ng iyang tai, it carries a lot of bacteria. Okay? All sharp should be handled with extreme care. Go. Okay, mga sharp object, including your needle, it should be thrown in a container na specific for sharps. Okay? Clean up spills of infective material promptly. Okay? If makita ninyo nga nagkatai ang paa sa pasyente, you clean it immediately. Okay? Or nagkatai ang iyahang tiyan, yung gikan sa cesarean section. Okay? So you clean it immediately. Okay? Para prevent sa infection. Ensure appropriate waste handling. Okay? Kung infectious siya, asa man siya na bag? Sa yellow na bag. Okay? Linen can be boiled if no washing machine is available. Pwede pakuluan ang mga habol, mga sani, pillowcases kung walay washing machine. So, we have transmission-based precaution. So, we have a lot actually. First, we have contact precaution. So in this contact precaution, specific siya for contact transmission. So this precaution that prevents of HAIs due to contact transmission, which is the most important and frequent mode of transmission of HAIs. So we have acute viral conjunctivitis, meaning gipiskat. So pwede na mag-contact precaution because piskat at sa may product niya mga luha and muta. So, pwede mag-contact precaution si nurse. Okay? Next, we have adenoid pneumonia, acute respiratory infectious diseases in infants, herpes simplex infections, kaya ang herpes, maka-form of boils. Okay? Mga butoy-butoy silang genitals. Okay? Next, we have also scabies, SARS, and Ebola. Okay? Consider it as contact precaution. Next, we have droplet precaution. These are precautions to prevent transmission through droplets produced from coughing, sneezing, or talking, or medical procedures such as suctioning and bronchoscopy. So, unsa may gamitan ni nurse? They will use mask. Okay? Ay, by the way, kay contact precaution, you use gloves and gown. Okay? Sa droplet, you use your mask. Okay? Okay. Next, we have airborne precaution. So, what is the way to prevent the transmission? So, you use N95. Katulad ang baga na mask. Kanang close kaayo siya. Dinaga niya siya, color white na siya. Basta N95 ang tawag. Okay? Okay, mas gamay man na. Ay, mas close siya ba? Meaning, gamay yung pores. So, mas gamay ang chance na makasulod ang virus or bacteria. Okay? So, common na siya for TB patients. So we have biosafety and microbiology laboratory. First, we have biological safety cabinets. Okay, these are devices that encloses a working area in such a way as to protect workers from aerosol exposure to infectious disease agents. BSC can protect workers by either heating or ultraviolet or UV light or passage of air through a high efficiency particulate air or HEPA filter that removes particle larger than 0.3 nanometer, micrometer. Okay? So we have different classes. So class 1 cabinets, okay, allow room that is unsterilized, okay, allow room air to pass into the cabinet. Wait lang. And around the area. Okay, sterilizing HEPA only the air to be exhausted, and they are usually used for BSL-2 and BSL-3 agents. Okay, class 2 cabinets are also known as laminar flow BSC. Okay, so in this cabinet, sterilized air that flows over the infectious materials as well as the air to be exhausted. They're also used for BSL-2 and BSL-3 agents. So again, class 1, unsterilized air, pwede ra. Okay, pero ang iyang ipagawas na air is sterilized na. Class 2 is sterilized both. Ang musulod and at the same time ang mo gawas. Okay? Class 3 cabinets provide the most protection of the worker, which is also the highest level of safety. Air coming into and going out of the cabinet is sterilized, and the infectious material within is handled with rubber gloves that are attached and sealed to the cabinet. Again, you use gloves. Okay? Sterilized ang musulod na air at the same time ang mugawas. Okay? But the infectious material is handled with rubber gloves. Okay? Ah. Okay, next we have biological agents. So these are infectious agents that can be classified based on their hazardness, meaning unsa ka makatakod or unsa ka contagious ang isa ka agent, bacteria, virus, or sa ba, tanan. Okay? So we have BSL type 1. Okay? Biosafety level 1 agents. These are microbes with no pathogenic potential to immunocompetent people, meaning di siya makatakod. So your number 1, your lactose bacilli. Okay? Dili siya makatakod maskin pag ubos ang immune system sa pasyente. Okay, your lactobacilli or your bacteria nga naa sa Yakult. Okay? Agents in this category are used in most undergraduate studies as teaching exercises for students. So, pwede siya gamiton as teaching exercise because, again, dili siya makatakod. Okay? Next, we have BSL-2 or Biosafety Level 2 agents. So, in these agents, include microbes that are common agents of infectious diseases that are usually acquired via ingestion, percutaneous, or mucous membrane exposure. So, mayroon pagkaon or exposure sa open wound or mga open na mucous membrane. So, examples are your HIV, Bacillus anthracis, Yersinia pestis, Toxoplasma and Salmonella and Shigella, Staphylococcus. So, kani BSL-2, unsa gani iyahang cabinet? Okay, kabalikan na to ang cabinet. Ano to? So, your class number 1 nga cabinet. Okay, BSL-2. So, BSL-3 or Biosafety Level 3 agents, these include microbes that are transmitted via aerosol transmission, meaning airborne. So, they are considered generally as lethal pathogens, meaning makatakod siya. Okay? So, ay highly contagious rather. Okay? So, examples are your TB. Okay? Anything that is airborne, mo na ang pinaka-common, your TB or tuberculosis. Okay? Next, we have biosafety level number 4. These include microbes that are dangerous. So far, dangerous. Okay? And exotic that can cause life-threatening infection, including your smallpox. Okay? Supposedly, your smallpox have nananak siya bakuna. Kay kita tanan, immune na ta sa smallpox. However, due to kanang bitaw mo pass on ang mga antibodies. However, karon nibalik siya emerge, okay? There are now cases of smallpox virus, especially sa Egypt man ata na countries basta naa dito. Okay? So, nabalik na no mga supposedly namatay na na virus na buhi sila balik. Okay? Kay because mas nangaisog sila. Okay? Nang mas isog na sila karon kaya na nila patyon ang mga normal kaya na nila i-infect ang mga immunocompetent. Okay? So, muna ato ang BSL number 4. Okay. So, Biosafety and Microbiology Laboratory for Bioterrorism, it is a biological attack or bioterrorism is the intentional release of viruses, bacteria, or other germs that can sicken or kill people. Okay? So, ano sila? I don't know sa katinuod no, but COVID-19, to some, they considered it as bioterrorism. Okay, why? Itong China, di ba? Pag outbreak sa ilaha, nangatakod ang lain countries. Pero, pagkatakod sa lain countries, ang sa China, niubos ang number of cases. Okay? Dayon, ambot sa makatinuod na pero dili ko mo to nga bioterrorism siya. Pero ako lang i-share. Okay? They believe that again it is bioterrorism para there will be an increased need of vaccines and mask. Okay? Mga medical supplies. Then sila ang number 1 ba nga tig-release sa mga supplies. Okay? Pero I don't know sa katinuod. Kaya ako lang i-share. Okay, so we have different categories. So category A agents, these are microbes that pose the greatest public health threat, meaning maka-damage yun siya sa public. So agents in these categories are easily transmitted and are highly infectious. So including your smallpox and anthrax. Katong anthrax bitaw nga dako kayo mo block ang yung samad. Ako na nagipakita during our first meeting. Okay? Next, we have category B agents. These are microbes with moderate morbidity and low mortality rate. Okay? Dili siya threat, pero makadaot gyapon siya. Okay? Gamay ra iyang number of deaths, pero moderate ang iyahang number of cases. Pero dili mamatay. Okay? They are not easily transmitted as category A agents. Okay? Including Rickettsia, Borholderia, and Coxella borneti. Okay? Next, we have category C agents. These are emerging agents, meaning bago pa. Okay, so examples are viruses causing yellow fever, your dengue, and hemorrhagic fever. Okay, that's all for chapter 5. See you and please study for your exam. Okay? Then comment down below ato kung giingon, okay? Okay, that will serve as your attendance. Bye!